Hello. Oh, thanks for dropping in. So today, oh, it's funny, I found a box of cables and things downstairs, but it was too heavy to even move. So I'm going to have to, and just the way I would have to go at it, it's in a strange position. So I got to find another box to put some stuff in, and then I can go through it. But what I did happen to come upon here is a box of artwork, otherwise known as set decoration from the show Copper, made by BBC America. So, this is in one of the original boxes. And you see, like here, is like a ledger. And it is, of course, made to look old. I guess if it was sitting on a desk, it was probably on a shelf. But it's old and dusty. And is there really any... there might be some pages of actual something inside here, but not many. And who knows, this may be some old book that they just took. Anyway, what it comes down to is they got to make things look old. But one thing, of course, about this one is it's got blood on it. So maybe it came from a murder scene in the show, because people certainly were killed at times. And this, oh, yeah, look at this. This is also covered in blood. File number 341, done up with twine, which would have been like the period, and full of stuff. Now, is there really anything in here? No. But that's the thing. It looks like there is. And that's what it had to be. This was probably sitting on a desk, or someone was carrying it, or who knows what. And you know what? It didn't play hugely, but if they did a scene in an office that was full of old papers and stuff, there it is. Because it's got to look right. What else is in this box? Another ledger. This one doesn't even open. It's kind of even glued shut. But of course, that makes it safe to, you don't have to worry about pages coming out or whatever. Yeah, anyway, once again, this is created by an artist whose job is to make things that look old. Let's see. We have another bundle. Yes, a bundle tied with twine. January. Case number 205. Oh, you know what? This is probably stuff that was with people when they went into the courtroom, and they would just have a stack of these things in front of them as if it was something. But really, it's nothing. It's dirty paper. It's been made to look old. And that is the thing. But funny, there was a movie called How to Deal, and I minded a church in North Toronto called St. Timothy's Church while they were filming. And the main people had a car, a little red Honda, and it was supposed to look rusty here and there, but it wasn't rusty. But once again, this is the artists of behind the scenes on movies that make things look like they're supposed to look. And they actually had two of these cars, and they, in case one broke down, in case some mishap happened, they were ready. And really, they were identical. You could never tell. But there are many things that the art world might take you into, including television-y things. Okay, and movies. Another bundle. Probably also sitting on a desk, looking like a file or something or another. What do we have here? Oh, a bundle. And this one has a little tag on it. And it has some writing. Just a moment. And it says 3728. Synord Scalimus. Date 1903 I think this is something that was just supposed to make it look like legitimate. I don't think it was something that reminded them of what. And of course, you see it's tied differently. The thing is at the top here. Anyway, at some point, I will hopefully find another show, a period piece, that needs such things. What do we have here? Oh, kind of like a drawing tablet of sorts. It's kind of falling apart. But again, looks old. It's a genuine artificial imitation antique. Oh, what else? Oh, another bundle of papers. And another thing that they do, they would have written this with a an inkwell and a pen. And it's written in handwriting, but you can kind of read it, that if somebody really got a hold of it, you could see suspect were everywhere. But, it's hard to talk to Detective Corcoran as Detective Brian apprehend suspect off Worth Street. Detective O'Brien processing suspect for the manslaughter of suspect G. Smith will be held without bail. Suspects detained without bail. Suspects will be held without bail. Suspect A. Brown released due to lack of sufficient information. And now, this never would have played, or no one would have read this. But if this was sitting on a desk with its variety of other papers, which of course blank, but they're made to look old, there's the report. Do you have the report? Yes, I have the report. There is the report. What else is in here? Another bundle. What does this say? Case number 256. Very good. Oh, all right. What do we have? Another file. Case. This is kind of damaged, but anyway. Case number 18. And here, it's kind of a bloodied up piece of paper. And here's another pile of vintage stuff. And here, another thing. Anyway, at some point, I do hope to find another show that's interested in this stuff. I'm not just going to recycle it. They probably spent tens of thousands, if not 100,000 or more, on all of this stuff. Not just this box, but I have many boxes of stuff. Here's another file. What's it say? 3214, June, 14 June, location A6B7. Yeah. So it's like, a file to do with some sort of crime. Let's just take all this stuff out and set it up here for a second. Although, this is getting rather unstable. I'm going to have to put all this back in the box, but I have some other examples of cool things that they did, and they would do. And now that I can move this box, you can see, that might be how it would appear in a scene. A whole stack of stuff here. Look, here's some mail. October, file number 1260. December, case number 576. April, file number 381. May, file number 571. Now here's something, and these, I bet you these, September, file number 1371. I wonder if these were stuck together, or they just happen to be stuck together. I don't know. See, what they would do, I think these are stuck together because they're supposed to be. What they would do in scenes in an office where there were things on desks and papers and stuff, is they would take the pile of papers and they would glue them together so they would always look the same. This is if things didn't need to be moved. Case number 256. Anyway, lots of vintage old looking things. Does this book open? Oh, it does. Okay, so here's an old ledger and more set decoration. What is this? It's an old book. Looks like an old book, and it's all been splattered inside. It has, to make it look old and vintage. So there, wouldn't that be? Say you were up on charges in 1864, and you went into your lawyer's office, you might see a stack of papers like this. You might. Anyway, they went overboard on things, but that is part of the whole thing, to be accurate. So, continuity is difficult, but they would strive to be perfect. And one episode I was on, and it was complicated. Anyway, there was this one guy, he'd been shot supposedly, and then I don't know what was going on, but things weren't going well. So many times, and we were told for this one episode for continuity, we had to always be back because they'd be doing things and we'd have to be. Anyway, on and on and on it went. But this episode, I think it really went over budget and over everything. But it was a big scene. And I remember how many times they had to make up this guy who supposedly had been shot in the head, and there he'd be lying in a puddle out on the street. And I don't know what was going wrong or what they didn't like or what had to be done just so. But there we were. There he was. Ugh. All right, I'm going to try to get all of this back in here successfully. And then I have to find a top. Most of these boxes did not come with Banker's Box tops, and some of the boxes were in pretty rough shape, and I have eliminated them and put them with something like in other treasure boxes. But this one, I'm always leery of boxes falling over, but this is one that I suspect I'll put on the top of the pile, but I will find a lid for it. So that is an example, look at that, of set decoration files from the TV show Copper, which only had 2 seasons, which was tragic. There's tape on here that says K. Oh, and then it says Ken, Kenn. See, there was a main character on the show called Kennedy, of all things. And on the end it says case number 404B to 2033P. Da 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 da. Which, to the people who did all this, it may mean something. I don't know what that is. So, I think what I will do now is go back downstairs and find another smaller box to put things in from this big box of cables that I really can't even lift. And I will continue to go through this box. Yeah. I will put somewhere so that I can then put it somewhere out of the way. Anyway, thanks for coming. We'll see you again. Stay tuned for the next round of cables. There are so many.
That was easy.
And indeed, yes, at times it feels like the Twilight Zone. Bye for now.